So you want to know if salt water is right for your Intex pool. Well, y'all stick around. We'll get with it. Many of you guys have followed me with this Intex pool over the years. This is my 4th season with this pool. I've had it for quite some time, and I've exclusively run salt water in this pool. And the number one question I get asked is about rust in my Intex pool. So let's look at it. There is absolutely zero rust, even up where it connects. It is faded from the sun from being out so long. But there is no rust at all on this pool. These pools are great with salt water in them. It makes these small swimming pools almost maintenance free. Now, we had this pool when Hurricane Ida hit, and Hurricane Ida did a lot of damage in my neighborhood. And in my pool, it put a lot of leaves, a lot of branches, a lot of shingles, a lot of nails, chairs, you name it, it was in this pool. But I continued to run my saltwater system on my generator for that entire month that we didn't have power. And this pool was full of stuff. It was just not real high on my priority list. But this water never got green. The saltwater system continued to create chlorine even with a pool full of debris, of living debris from trees. It's just an amazing thing to be able to set your pool up, and it takes care of itself. Now, what did happen, because we did have metal fall inside of the pool with nails and whatnot, there is some rust down at the bottom from where the metal pieces were sitting in the pool. Now, that was definitely caused by the salt water, because I did have metal fall in the pool. Generally, that's not something you're going to have to worry about, is metal in your pool. But let's talk about how easy it is to take care of. When you set your pump to run, you're going to set your pump, well, I set mine for 12 hours. Now this, I'll have a link to this pump and saltwater system in the description. But it's an all-in-one system. It's got the saltwater component to it, and it's got the pump and the sand filter. And like I said, I'll have a link below. This one's a 16-inch one, and it runs about $400. And what you do is you set your pump, or I set mine to run for 12 hours, and the saltwater system will automatically come on when the pump's running. And it's really that simple. Now, there are some things you'll have to do on occasion. For instance, from time to time, you'll get a low salt alarm. Now, it doesn't happen very often. And there's one or two things that can actually cause that. Either your pool is truly low on salt, or your anodes have got a lot of buildup on them. Now, right here is where your anodes are housed in the saltwater system. And what they look like, this is what they look like. when you pull them out. And if you're getting a low salt alarm, it could be that your anodes have built up a calcium deposit on them and they're no longer working. So what you do is you simply unscrew the little piece on it, the little nut that holds it on, unplug it, and you can soak this in vinegar, a vinegar solution with water and vinegar, mostly vinegar, for about 24 hours, and it comes off really easy and they're just like brand new again. Now another thing that can happen with a saltwater pool is during times when there's lots of rain and these pools will start to run over, they'll get a abundance of fresh water in them and they will get low on salt. So what we have for that is we have a little a digital salt measuring device, and what it actually measures is the dissolved solids in your pool. Well, since salt is the only dissolved solid that is in this pool, this tells us perfectly. And what we want is between 2,500 parts per million and 3,000 parts per million is where these pools are pretty happy. And right now mine is at 26.7, so it's right where it needs to be. And I will leave a link in the description below for this as well. So that's the two things you'll get a low salt alarm for. Either you truly are low on salt, or you need to clean your anodes. Now I've only had to clean my anodes one time. Now this is the second one I've had. My first salt system did die on me, so I bought this one last year and it's doing fine, and I'm glad I had it right before the storm, because it continued to make chlorine and keep this pool clean through some really messed up stuff. Now the only component of this pool that has rusted due to salt is this ladder. And the hardware on the ladder as well. The ladder is apparently not made of the same coating as the pool. So I hope that answers your question, guys. If you've been concerned about putting a saltwater system on your metal frame Intex pool, don't be scared of it. I know a lot of people say they rust. I've had this thing going on salt for 4 years now, and it's so much easier than chlorine. With chlorine being really hard to find right now, much as everything's really hard to find, and it's very expensive, salt is super cheap. I did have to add a bag of salt in this one just this past week because I was getting a low salt alarm. We had a lot of rain. The bag of salt for 40 pounds was $7. And I probably will not have to add salt again till next season. So it's really a much cheaper, cost-efficient way to run one of these swimming pools. Chlorine, to get a bucket that'll last you a month, I mean, we're talking about $40 or $50. And that can really add up over time. The saltwater system, hands down, is the way to go in your Intex pool. And at that point, all you have to do is enjoy it. I guess all that's left now is to get in the pool with my son there. Y'all go enjoy your pool. I'm certainly gonna enjoy mine. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel. And until next time, we'll see y'all on Everyday Man.